You to make, we're in public comment section,
Oh.
presentations. I'm just asking, no force, since you were here. Any?
He's thinking of something.
Any hands
I think
raised?
the one thing that's really pressing me, and I think I might have mentioned it.
Okay, you would have to come up here.
I'm in the middle of beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Alex. I'm a barber here in town. I know you guys have programs for beautification.
You mean the facade
The
improvement?
facade, yeah. I'm gonna really take advantage of that. I really like the fact, and I think that you guys doing that for us really helps as business owners. But also the backside of that, with us doing that and you guys offering that, I don't want to be the only one looking good on my corner. But I don't know, if I was one of the business owners, I think that I should get charged being on Main Street to keep up with beautifying Wildwood, making it great again. But that's my 2 cents. That's just what I think. If I'm gonna take advantage of the programs you guys offer, then maybe some of the ones that aren't taking advantage of it should get a slap in the hand and say, let's take advantage of it. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Any hands raised? Any email? Yep. Then we will close public presentations. Move to the consent calendar. Is there anyone on council who would like to pull an item from the consent calendar? Is there anyone from the public who would like to, or staff that would like to pull an item? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Motion carries 5-0.
Which includes your appointment.
You've been appointed.
Okay, reports and staff communications. City manager and staff update, page 72 in our package.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. So we do have 2 street projects coming up, 2 separate contractors, relatively small levels of work, one of which is some earthquake repair projects for Aloha and some of the other streets like Riverside. I believe that was scheduled to begin on the 12th. Was that
12, yes.
Yeah. So that's actually on the 12th. And then we also have Elm Street to repay the project coming up at the end of the month, I believe the last week of the month. So we're excited about those projects getting started in town. And then that Elm Street project, also, we're hoping that the contractor has some time to do some of the prep work on Center Street. You may recall we're going to try to do some the slurry sealing, the annual slurry seal bid, but there was some additional damage that we didn't quite realize till we went back out there and took a good look at it. And so that street just needs some minor modifications to make a slurry seal next year. Or potentially this year, depending on when they do the sealing and whether we can get on a bid project that will make that end product much better. So with that, city manager's been to a solid waste local task force meeting, recruitment for the wastewater superintendent position. And we are in the process of looking at and working with the State Water Resources Control Board for our water SIP project, potentially taking out a loan to help complete the full scope of the project. So since the grant only covers, I believe there's another $1 million or so of the project that had to be left off of the total project. So those items will be coming back at some point in the near future.
Thank you. I have a quick question. Is Elm Street gonna go from Pacific to Wildwood, or is it just gonna be that half street that always seems to happen on Elm, which is kind of
Yeah, it's just specific to Wildwood.
all the way the whole, isn't Elm where Shots is?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So that would be.
Because a lot of times it seems like it just keeps getting repaid and repaid from halfway up down to Wildwood.
Yeah.
And then the upper part of Elm up to Pacific is just disastrous. So that's why I was asking, so I'm happy with that.
I do think in the project, there is a section of good pavement that was put in when the developer did that.
Oh, the redo
Shots.
Shots.
And so I believe the goods section is still going to remain. So there will be a bit of a patch there, but yeah.
But it'll be smooth from
Transition.
Pacific all the way down. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Perfect. Any questions, Mayor Pro Tem?
No questions. As always, I want to thank city staff for all of your hard work and things that you make possible. We couldn't do it without you. I would also like to point out that we had 0 cats transported to Miranda's rescue in the last 3 weeks, which is great because it is feral cat kitten season. They are popping out all over the place. I'm running around, I'm trapping these cats. We're getting them fixed and they're not going to Miranda's or even coming to the police department. Are you even getting any? You're welcome. No, but I want to point out, these are the kinds of things that we can do in a small town that are much, much harder to do in bigger cities, even if they have more money. I like to focus on the things that Rio Dell gets done because we are so tiny and because we are so close knit. And yes, in the height of kitten season, we have had 0 cats transported. It's a victory. Thank you. That's it.
Councilmember Orr? Councilmember Wilson? No. Councilmember Woodall?
Yeah, I just had a question about the vandalized bathrooms at the park. Are we still locking those at night, the bathrooms?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so this happened during the day
This
then?
happened in the middle of the daytime.
Okay, thank you.
And are they pursuing, prosecuting?
So we had a meeting with the fire department board as well as the entire fire department. And gave them the options, the projected outcomes, potential benefit versus risk. And they ultimately decided to meet with the families of the juveniles who were all fully on board. The kids came down to the fire department meeting, issued formal apologies. And the families are signing civil contracts with the fire department, 100 hours of community service each owed to the fire department with the hope of getting them back on track and diversion from a criminal lifestyle.
Okay.
But no money to help fix it.
Did you catch them or did they come forward on their own?
They were identified through investigation and their parents, once notified, were fully on board with bringing them down and doing whatever it took to make this right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And and I just wanted to say that it's nice to be able to walk my dog. It's been hard to walk your dogs in Rio Dell for a lot of years, and it has gotten so much better. And I don't know if that's part of the, police force enforcing or part of the spay and neuter program or a combination of a bunch of stuff, citizens who are more responsible, but it has gotten so much better. And just like I've walked from up on Cherry down all around on the trail, and it's been really, really nice lately. Appreciate it. So I decided to tag on to Mayor Pro Tem. Do you have any questions for the staff report? No.
I'm curious about the cats and
Well, you can talk to me anytime. about it.
yes, that was a little shocking when we moved to Rio Dell and started going for our family walks. There's a lot of cats here. So I know that there was if you lived in Rio Dell, you get kind of like a discounted like spay and neuter type situation. So it sounds like there's a program in place. Could I get like a 2-minute debrief of what that is?
I can do it in less than 2 minutes.
Great, beautiful.
All it is municipalities usually contract with animal shelters, which we do, and we take the unwanted animals and we put them at the shelter and then they disappear and we don't know and whatever. What Rio Dell has done is allocate money out of our animal control fund to provide the community with assistance spaying and neutering their pets. We've contracted with Critters Without Litters, which is a low-cost spay, neuter, and regular veterinary clinic in Fernbridge, where we basically help people pay for the cost of spaying and neutering their pets in the hopes that that is way more of a long-term solution to overpopulation of shelters, unwanted animals, than just simply dropping them off at a shelter. We're actually trying to fix the problem at the ground level. And I will say that we are the only city in Humboldt County that has done that. And we're one of the only ones in the entire state. Like this, like New York State is just starting to kind of think about this kind of thing. We're really doing it first.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just getting sterilized.
Yeah. Yeah. And that includes sparrows and strays, not just pets. Yeah.
Did you want to say? I actually did. I have a, sorry to backtrack. I had a question for Randy. And it was on the special session, and I should have asked them, I won't go into it too deeply, but they asked about what not hiring or what waiting on hiring, if it was an issue. It was a public meeting, right?
Yeah, I'm just asking because it was not,
I'm not saying what the vote was or anything.
no, I'm just asking
Reversing
the
the
attorney
question.
to make sure that it's okay.
Yeah, and to the extent we're still on the kind of the general staff report.
Okay,
Yeah, you can.
What are the current effects of not doing that? What toll is it taking on the services that we are up and running?
Well, currently, we had one person that was out for maternity leave, I guess. He's part-time back this week, we'll be back full-time next week. So that fills the void that we had just 2 weeks ago and whatnot, when Sunshine was here and Andrew was here. So, with him back, it does relieve some tension between myself and the one other employee that was here. So now we have 3 people that can spread out the workload with myself. I'm just being spread in different areas at different times, so I'm allocating my time accordingly to what's most important at this time.
any other questions? No? Then we will, any hand raised emails, did I ask that a question? Okay. And we will close the city manager staff update and move on to special resolutions and ordinances. 2025/0506.07, second reading by title only and adoption of ordinance number 414-2025, amending 12.30 of the Rio Dell Municipal Code pertaining to trails and further establishing fines. Page 78 in our packets. The amendment.
Thank you, Mayor Dorrance, members of the council. So the Eel River Trail is all but complete at this point. The site has received some level of use by motorized vehicles in violation of section 12.30 of the Rio Dell Municipal Code. The council heard the first reading of the ordinance on April 15th, 2025, and continued the ordinance for approval to tonight's meeting. The proposed change also includes minor non-substantive edits to the section. Changes to the proposed ordinance from the first reading include changing the status of the violation from an infraction to a misdemeanor, which will allow the police department greater authority to conduct investigations when a violation is not directly witnessed by an officer. So with that, we would recommend that the council go ahead and open and receive public comment, close the public comment period, direct the staff, deliberate and direct staff to make any changes to the draft if ordinance if necessary. And then continue the item to the next meeting for adoption, or to adopt ordinance 414, amending section 12.30 of the RDMC pertaining to trails and establishing fees or fines.
Thank you, city manager. Any questions?
How do you feel about changing it from just an infraction to the misdemeanor?
I feel like the penalty is a little more severe potentially, but it does give us the authority to utilize investigative leads such as people making reports after the trail has been used and damage has been done, for us to take video, witness statements, and use that to identify who is damaging the trail and the surrounding area, and ultimately stop the behavior from happening, whereas an infraction would not.
Yeah, so you feel good with being misdemeanor?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
I had the same question, but yeah, I think I'm okay with this. No questions.
No, I'm good.
Councilmember Wilson?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Because I really wanted it. I'm clearly good with it. Are there any questions from the audience?
Are they allowed to ride on the like river bar, like down? Okay, so they can ride on the rocks, but not on the trail.
Yeah, and I'm just telling it's your future when you come in. So usually you have to come up and introduce yourself and say, and I was just being casual. But normally speaking, you would come up, you would say who you are, and then you would address the council, okay?
This, is this in regards to motorized vehicles
On the new trail
on trails?
down at the Edwards.
Now, are these including vehicles that are not supposed to be on highway?
Like off
There's-
vehicles.
Right,
Yeah, anything that's motorized is prohibited on that trail.
okay,
As long as it's on a wheelchair.
Yes.
right. Now, how are those bikes getting down there if they're not allowed on this road? How do they get down there and how are you guys enforcing that?
That is an excellent question, and it is illegal to ride off-highway vehicles on public streets as well, so.
I see it all the time on my cameras.
Mhm. If people are stopped by an officer, witness, driving up, they can be cited.
How can a case be built so that behavior gets eradicated?
Well, what you're talking about on city streets is an infraction, so it has to be witnessed by an officer. And the person has to be stopped and they have to be cited for it. It's not a misdemeanor or felony where it can be investigated in a criminal case. So the correct way is for people to transport their bikes down to the river bar and then they can ride them at will down there.
And then they don't do the then infractions. Okay, thank you.
Are there any hands raised or anything else? No. No, okay. Then is there a motion to adopt ordinance 414-2025 in section 12.3 of the Rio Dell Municipal Code pertaining to trails and further establishing fines?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any vote? Motion carries 5-0. And that brings us to council reports and communications. Councilmember Orr.
I have nothing yet to.
Okay, Councilmember Wilson.
When the month works out, HWMA is this Thursday. They usually are one in 1 week, it's offset from our council meeting, but because the first was on Thursday, we're both, and the same thing will happen with RCEA. HWMA is not really going, they're kind of still putting their budget together, but it's not looking like it's gonna charge they're gonna charge a lot more at the site in Hawthorne, in Eureka. And then the other part mostly concerns us is done through our own through ecology too.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
That's me. I went to a REDEC meeting last Monday. We heard from a group of local fishermen who wanted to talk about the windmill project that we don't even know if it's happening. I mean, it doesn't really apply to us, but that's what it was. This Thursday, there's usually a fire district meeting. It's going to be different. I don't know in which way because people are out of town. I think Joe.
They were having it tonight, I believe.
Well, but never mind. It's not on Thursday.
No, it's not on Thursday.
Okay.
It's tonight.
Thank you. We can't go to it. It's now. Still on this Thursday though is a school board meeting. I will be attending that at 6:30 p.m. Last I heard about the 7-Eleven committee, which is the Citizens Advisory Committee to declare the Davis Street Park surplus and potentially open it up for us to buy it someday and make it a park. They wanted more buy-in from the business community, so I spent the last month trying to get more people from the business community, which thank you. And so I will report on that next meeting. The 7-Eleven committee has to represent our community, so it has to be renters, landowners, teachers, administrators. We were lacking in members of the business community. That's one of the bullet points that they want represented, and we didn't have it represented very well. We do now. Thank you.
Councilmember Whittle.
I went to the chamber meeting last Friday. Wally Copini brought in, they're not doing the tour of the unknown coast. They usually do it around Mother's Day. But so he is sponsoring it at Lost Coast Wildwood Ride, and it'll be on August 2nd during Wildwood Days. And he's anticipating maybe 200 riders. And they're gonna have a 35-mile ride, a 58-mile ride, 100K, and a 100-mile ride, which will be the tour of the unknown coast. And there's camping at they'll be camping at the school. They're gonna have a free barbecue for them that night, the riders on Saturday night. And it'll bring a lot of people to town, which will be good. And the other thing is, where are we at? The 4th? No. The 6th? Okay, on May 6th, we're gonna have the Rio Dell Spring Cleanup Day. And,
No, we have to,
huh?
make
The 10th? Oh, I thought I heard you say the 6th. Okay, from 9 AM to 1 PM, Rio Dell residents can dispose of bulky items such as furniture, yard trimming, scrap, wood, old appliances, and scrap metal. It helps to have some of that separated so the lines move faster, and the lines are usually very long, so I would come early. And they're not accepting household trash, tires, e-waste, hazardous waste, or construction waste at this event. And I'm hoping that the girls or Mary gave out these to the people that might take advantage of it, you know.
Yes, Councilmember, not only have we handed those out, we have it posted at our front desk, and we will have an officer staffing the event as well to make sure this.
Great,
and
okay,
it's on the.
It's on the
LED.
sign. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's it. Okay. Thanks for setting that up, I'd be here. Okay, and I have nothing to report, so I think we are now coming to the end of the open meeting, and we will adjourn into our closed session, which are the council conference with labor negotiators and public employee performance evaluation. So that is a closed session. Those are closed session items. So I will gavel into closed session.